Hello, let me introduce myself. I am Karl Lenz. I have been at the University of Utah as a finance professor since the year 2000. I've taught an honors corporate finance course since about 2005, and I really like it. It's just a treat to take typical finance topics and move them into the higher level where when you exit the course, you can come to financial choices and like project decision making and things like that and say, okay, I don't have any current data. I've got to structure this. I've got to figure out whether this thing financially is going to be valuable for my company or for myself if I'm an entrepreneur, and to be able to have the tools to know what to go look for, what kind of financial numbers matter, what kind of accounting statements matter, what kind of projections matter, what kind of discount rate to use, and kind of structure it all in a timeline, and then be able to package it and show it to somebody and be comfortable with your decision as to whether you should or should not invest in this business or this project. That's what this course lets you do when you're done. I'm an active research professor here, hold the Spencer Fox Eccles Endowed Chair in Banking and Corporate Finance. And my research topics, just if you're interested, are on, have always been on corporate governance for over 20 years. And the last 5 or 6 years, I've been increasingly looking at corporate social responsibility choices of firms and trying to kind of blend them for the stakeholder versus shareholder. And we'll get some of that in this course as well. So what we do in Finance 4031 is expand substantially on the core corporate finance topics that you've seen in B Corps. We also put into practice some of the financial accounting you learn, because we're going to take them into real life examples of things where you need accounting numbers to project through a finance framework whether to do something or whether a company is going to run out of money and that kind of thing. This course is taught at the honors level. I do provide plenty of supplemental material to make sure there's multiple ways to master the topics, but we are definitely going to go deep into a lot of topics. I recommend this course for aspiring finance majors for sure, but also for accounting majors, given the way we use accounting and cash flow information throughout the course. And truthfully, after many years of talking to former students, keep in mind that a key skill you'll master in this course is valuation of a project, a business opportunity, a company, maybe even your own possible startup company. And almost all crucial business decisions are done through a detailed financial analysis. So if you're a major in something other than finance or accounting, or you're not even sure, you just won't be upset if you leave the David Eccles School of Business with an understanding of the mechanics of setting up from scratch through a finance framework, a detailed financial evaluation analysis, whether you're looking at installing a new IT equipment, rack, or a marketing proposal to change something to move up scale, starting your own vegan takeout business. All of it's done through a finance framework, and you've got to ask people for money usually for these things, whether it's the corporate or outside investors, and they want to see that you've done it through a finance framework. So remember the core principles. A firm cannot operate without access to cash. Investors who have cash seek to place and obtain a return on their cash. All that stuff's linked in finance. We'll do a lot of very detailed case style analyses. Many of them will be mini cases, but some of them will be full-blown like Harvard Business School type. And I believe to get good at finance, you've just got to practice, and see how the pieces of accounting and finance link together and what kind of key assumptions are in there that make valuations change, kind of where the bones are buried, so to speak. So we'll be doing plenty of this. We'll cover topics including cash planning, working capital management so that a healthy company that's profitable doesn't run out of money and go bankrupt. We'll do things called building out pro formas to evaluate long-term financing needs. And we'll be looking at accounting statement analysis, financial statement analysis to find out why a company might be in trouble or is doing well relative to its peers. You've done some stuff on bonds. We'll do a deeper dive into bond valuation, including what's called the term structure of interest rates. We'll also introduce this concept called a growing perpetuity model that's used extensively in finance, but sometimes it's kind of buried and you don't really see it. And as mentioned, we'll be doing lots and lots of project valuation examples, including something that's called real options, where you have some options that come along with taking a project that you wouldn't get if you don't take it. And we'll, of course, do a little more on time value of money. I know you've seen plenty, but there's ways to try to answer complex, say, retirement savings and college savings examples where the money moving in and out is lumpy and all that. I want to make sure you're ready to do that for your own kind of personal financial analysis. And of course, we'll be doing a little more on risk and return and cost of capital and capital structure choices. And given my research, I will of course be weaving firms' corporate governance and corporate social responsibility choices into it. Okay, let me conclude with that for the Finance 4031. Just a brief primer on the Finance 4030 because it's kind of new with B Corp this year. The 4030 is going to be twinned with Finance 4040 and taught by Professor Yue Pan. Thanks.